New pro-union report turned Sturgeon worst nightmare over SNP energy bills went through the roof. Scottish independence could heavily impact Scottish energy bills as a new pro-union report claims leaving the UK means cutting all ongoing energy subventions. Sam Taylor, chief executive of the pro-union think tank These Islands, has speculated that people living in Scotland would see their spending power drop by £250 a year should the country leave the UK. According to the latest report of These Islands, electricity bills in an independent Scotland would increase by about 35%, an extra £250 per year on the average bill. The organisation said that Scotland, as of now, exports huge quantities of electricity to England and Wales for which the country receives substantial net subsidies and support flow. Mr. Taylor wrote in The Times, various subsidy mechanisms top up, or guarantee, the price at which output can be sold to a level with an adequate return. The costs of these subsidies are socialised across all GB bill payers. The report also said 40% of GB spending on transmission is expected to occur in Scotland over the next 5 years. Scotland actually produces more electricity than it uses, including a substantial amount from fossil fuels and nuclear energy. In 2019, renewables accounted for 61% of electricity generated in Scotland, nuclear 25%, and gas and oil 13%. The think tank estimates the annual net flow into Scotland totals at least £1.2 billion per annum, hence the £250 increase in energy bills a year for Scots. The pro-union advocate said the UK will never keep on investing in Scotland to such an extent should the country quit the UK. In 2014, the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy published an official statement which said, in the event of independence, the integrated GB market could not continue in its current form. When purchasing power from an independent Scottish state, the continuing UK is unlikely to be prepared to continue to make additional financial contributions to what would be a separate country, over and above the market price for the energy in question. The UK government previously claimed that staying in the UK would keep future energy bills for Scottish households up to £189 a year lower. Professor Ewan Phimister, from the University of Aberdeen, explained prior to the 2014 Scottish independence referendum that an increase in energy bills is inevitable in Scotland and in the UK as a whole in the aftermath of an independence vote. He told the BBC, bills are going to rise in all cases due to increased subsidy to renewables and nuclear, in the UK case, replacement of infrastructure and of power plants which are coming offline due to environmental regulations. How much they will rise is ultimately uncertain. To solve the problem, Scotland could trade its renewable electricity with EU member states so as to offset the costs of supporting renewables. Scotland currently produces renewable electricity equivalent to its annual consumption, but some of this is exported, meaning it uses significant amounts of non-renewable electricity as well. In 2020, 56% of the electricity consumed in Scotland came from renewable sources. On the topic of alternate energy resources, nuclear power could help Scotland end its reliance on fossil fuels and ease the cost of living crisis, Anas Sarwar has claimed. The Scottish Labour leader said the process should be part of the mix as he relaunched his Green Labour campaign on Friday. Sarwar is challenging his party to think big on ways to tackle climate change and press the Scottish government to match its rhetoric on the environment with action. Both the SNP and Scottish Greens are firmly opposed to the building of new nuclear power stations in Scotland. In 2005, former Labour First Minister Jack McConnell threatened to use planning laws to stop any new nuclear stations being built in the country. But Sarwar insisted nuclear power could mean lower fuel bills for consumers at a time of rising inflation. SNP MSP Jackie Dunbar said, "The SNP is absolutely clear in our opposition to the building of new nuclear power plants in Scotland. The people of Scotland have consistently voted for a government that does not support the creation of new nuclear power stations, so why should Scottish taxpayers find themselves paying for Westminster's nuclear obsession?" Instead of tying Scottish taxpayers into contracts worth billions of pounds, the UK government must U-turn on its decision not to fast-track the Scottish CCS cluster. It is vital that they also provide a ring-fenced pot of money for wave and tidal projects in the next energy auction. This decision could provide a stable alternative to nuclear energy and keep Scotland at the forefront of renewable energy. Keep Scotland